Jasna, your audio is not connecting. Please connect it manually. But you were not active on Facebook. So then,
Now it's working.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
just
it's working.
before you
Very good.
keep
Yeah.
connecting. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we change our. It's strange. We change the time, but we have a different slot, obviously.
No, it's you need to go the other way. I'll show you. I'll show you.
What do you mean the other way?
You 8 hours difference to us.
Ah, because you're west. Okay, but we have less. We have 1 hour less than usual now.
Yeah, I know, but it's you were 7 hours difference now. Now you 8 hours.
Look, how is it possible? Because in New York, for example, I'm went from 6 hour difference to 5 hour difference.
And you see the time? You see, for me it's 3 o'clock, and Eastern Standard Time, New York, it's 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
And
that's what I said. I have
yeah,
I save 1 hour with New York, so I thought it was the same with you guys. I save time.
yeah, and you 11 o'clock now, right?
Yes.
So this is 8 hours difference to me. See?
Oh, so you're different. So you at wait.
Yeah, I'm in Arizona, not in New York.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, are you guys? It's the same as in New York. You actually change the time the same, or you add the time?
No, for us, we stay. Arizona doesn't change; it stays the same.
Ah, you didn't. Okay, I got you. So
Yeah.
so if it didn't change from before, we have the same exact time. We didn't change time neither in Europe.
Right, right. Not yet, but you will change time, I
Yeah,
believe.
March 29, I think. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, because you changed time a little different to here in America. They changed yesterday,
Yeah,
so
March
yeah,
29, I think.
yeah, yeah. All right. Well, either way, see, so I have you on my clock now. I put you on my second clock on the computer. You see.
Crazy. I didn't know that you guys we have 8 hours different with Arizona.
Yeah,
Wow, come on.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So we're the same as Pacific time now, and
Ah, yes,
in
okay.
winter we're the same as Mountain time. All right, very cool, very cool. Okay, where are we at? Where are we at?
We are on the power of now, which was very good lesson actually.
Yeah, that's good stuff. I like it a lot. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Very cool, very cool. All right, let me just pour my coffee and we'll get going. All right. So what do you have from the first slide?
I don't hear you.
What do you have from the first slide?
I like the but I answer pretty much all the question on all the slides. Is question
Ah,
very, very, very interesting. I like this one. It was very, very cool.
yeah.
So let me tell you. There we go.
Okay. I'm gonna pull it up in a second. Yeah.
I can have mine if you want. Doesn't matter.
I think it works a little better. Yeah, but oh, sure. If you want to, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so the moment of now that I will have the sound. Oh, come on. All right.
You know where the way to do the sound is
Yeah,
go
I found it.
to your volume mixer.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. It
right
worked.
click on your speaker and then you go volume mixer and you just put Google, Chrome. You know, you just put it to 0.
It worked.
Not all your sound, just the Chrome or whatever browser you're using.
So, yeah, the shifting things, very interesting for me. Um, so we need to be together on the same thing, no? I guess.
How do you mean? Yeah, see, I go when I make them, so I don't get the sound, unless I go into review mode. So okay, I'll just share. I'm here now, so it'll be easier. But yeah, just right click on your little speaker icon in the bottom right hand corner, and then you click on volume mixer,
Yeah,
and
that's any
yeah, and
change, it put it down.
yeah, but not all your sound, because otherwise you won't hear
No,
Zoom.
no, no, no. I mixed just now. I hear you, and there's no sound on the slide.
All right, okay. Well, screen share then if you want. You want a screen share or you want me to screen share?
Up to you.
Either way. Then you can go
All
at
right.
your own pace if you screen share, since you're there already.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Very good.
So yeah, very interesting for me to asking myself the question that looking at life and ourselves differently as an essential ingredient for personal transformation. Yeah, interesting. I like that class, to be honest.
Yeah.
I really like it.
So the idea here is, of course, these questions we can ask at any moment of the day, right?
Yeah.
Any moment
Yeah.
in life. Yeah. All right. Let's
So the shift, the shift, it needs to be pretty much constant to become an habit, I guess.
Exactly.
It needs to be something you really, especially on that question, when you ask, how can I look at this moment differently? Yeah, obviously
Exactly.
it needs to be
Exactly.
constant.
Exactly. Yeah. We constantly want to be saying, how can I feel differently? How can I think differently? How can I imagine differently? So all of these are there. So yeah, it just opens up this Pandora's box. That's what we're doing. We are opening up our own personal Pandora's boxes. Yes.
No, ask myself, you freeze completely, but it's okay, no problem.
Yeah, no worry.
So how can I look at this moment differently? Yeah, pretty much asking myself the second question. Yeah, perhaps that's where or what is the gift in it. It's very much the takeaway if you think about it. Where we took last time when we talk about the takeaway, and so it's very much like how can I shift my mindset to see it a different way, and therefore not have the negativity out of it.
Exactly. How can I find the gift in it? Where's the gift? Where's the magic? It changes your brain. The moment you say, where's the gift, you assume there is a gift. By assuming there's a gift, you say, well, if there's a gift, wow, there is a gift. You see?
I mean, absolutely, in anything.
Yeah, exactly. And then when you find that gift, it's magical. It's magical.
It is. No, I agree. For that, I agree. It takes a bit of time, but I agree.
Mm-hmm.
So it's very much the shift. So I'm very much working on that now.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things I'm doing with the with the perspective shift we were last week. I was doing same here, same thing. So interesting for me. It's super interesting. Yeah, exactly. Do I absolutely have to feel this exact way? Be this way? What if I choose to feel differently, be differently right this second? And for me, what's important is right this second, because if you apply the shift too late, I guess you're missing. The thoughts are taking control.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I like the concept of
exactly. Exactly. At the moment you feel, do I have to feel this way? No, I don't. Change. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, you need to
no
change
fuss, no
on the
muss.
spot.
That's it.
Yeah, exactly, on the spot. Otherwise, I think it's complicated.
Exactly. Actually, you can think of it in a martial way. You're on the battlefield, and you're in a battle. You're fighting with somebody, opponent. Old days battlefield, I guess, and it's personal combat still. I don't know if it applies so much when you're just shooting blindly at people you can hardly see. Yeah. But anyway, so you're in your battle, you're in your fight with the guy, with the warrior, or maybe a she, you never know, maybe fighting Amazons. And you feel, oh man, this is tiresome. You know what I mean? This is boring or whatever. You can't afford such feelings. I don't want to be doing this. The moment you realize you're thinking thoughts like that, or you're feeling like, oh, this is no good, I might lose or whatever, you got to change it right away, because those thoughts will defeat you. Those feelings will defeat you, right?
Yeah,
so you got to change immediately.
They will take control over you. That is something I quickly realized. But even if on my daily life, so it will take control over me. So I need to make the shift maybe faster, I guess.
Exactly. If you go, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, and keep going. How quickly, how many times, how many jumps does it take to get to 10 billion?
About half.
No, I mean, like if you
Half.
go 1, 2, 4, 8, that's 4 jumps. See, 1,
Yes.
2, 4,
4,
8.
8, 16. Yeah.
32, yeah. So how many jumps will it take you to get to 10 billion?
I would say a lot.
You know,
I
it's
don't.
not a lot. You get there in 1 month, 31 times.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But that's the concept. Yeah, right. That's the concept of the. I know that one. It's
Compounding.
yes, it's a concept of the put money on the side and you can be millionaire within a month.
Yeah, exactly.
But in
Exactly. That's
technically,
if you
it's
can
just not
double it
possible.
every time. You can
Yeah.
do it with small amounts. Of course, it gets progressively more difficult with bigger amounts. But when it comes to learning, we can learn at the compound rate because we are able to abstract all of our learning into greater abstract qualities. So what I'm trying to say is that in the beginning it's very slow. You don't have a lot of money. After 2 weeks, you've got, I don't know, like $124 or something. Okay, it's pennies, but so at the end of 10 billion pennies, I don't know whatever that is divided by 100.
Mhm.
It's still a lot. The point I'm making is that when you the key is in any compounding, it is to watch the start. Now, if it's a negative compounding, don't think because it's 1, 2, 4, well, it's only a little and doesn't matter. That's when because the next thing you know, it suddenly spikes up and kicks up. So to catch it right at the beginning, this is the key. This is the key before it starts to kick into high gear, right?
Yeah.
Because
Otherwise, you lose it.
once it starts rapidly compounding, you're lost. So any negative thoughts, negative feelings, you got to catch them when the moment you notice them, cut them
Yeah.
off right away. Yeah.
Yeah. We say in French, il faut battre le fer quand il est chaud. You have to beat the iron when it's hot.
Yes, exactly. Nip
Otherwise,
it
you
in the
lose it.
bud. In other words, another expression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this I'll try to apply this
Yeah. Cool.
on a daily basis.
Cool.
And what am I unaware of this moment? Yeah, that's more like the perspective shift when you start to go,
Yes.
more in the sky to see.
Yes.
But then in this one, your brain can be tricky because you can believe something which is not the actual truth.
Yes, exactly. But again, battlefield awareness. When you're on that battlefield and you say, what am I unaware of at this moment? You can't be imagining stuff. You have to be realistic. Yes, there might be, a warrior over the hill there, but I'm fighting the guy in front of me. I can't be worried about the guy over the hill, but I can be, concerned that there might be a guy behind me. So, this is more close and more immediate. So then I move, I circle around my opponent so I can see behind him and see behind me, see stuff like that. So you can get realistic with what you're unaware of.
Yeah,
Instead
yeah,
of
yeah.
saying, let's be realistic. Okay, I might be unaware of that, but does it affect me? No. Could it affect me? Yes. Okay, so I need to pay attention. There you go. Very simple. Yeah.
No, it just needs to be something you,
Why?
let's say, you work on for. It takes some time, so you need to work on.
Exactly. Furthermore, you can shift your senses. All right, so I'm fighting the guy in front of me. I can't see behind me, but I can hear behind me. So when you're fighting, typically your attention isn't on keeping your hearing open to stuff around you. So I'm hearing the regular battle sounds. Fine. I'm setting my hearing to not listen to every specific sound, but to alert me to unusual sounds, as in any sound behind me that's close.
Mhm.
See, so we can set filters to our awareness, but we have to open first and then say, okay, I don't know what I'm unaware of, so alert me when something comes into my field of awareness. There you go. So it's about the blinkers. Yeah, we want to take the blinkers off. We want to open our hearing to hearing 360, smelling around us, all of this, and your intuition, your sense of rhythm, all of these things you can say, there's a change in the rhythm, something happened, the beat of stuff, the pattern. or
So
many,
even
many,
the
many
small,
ways to be aware. We just have to have that openness, but we don't have to be paying attention to every specific little thing.
yeah, I
Yeah,
understand.
yeah,
So it could be even small thing. At the moment, we just have a perspective shift.
exactly, exactly, exactly.
All right.
Yeah. So think of it this way: you're walking through the jungle. There's a zillion sounds in the jungle, right? You don't listen to all of them, but the moment that pattern changes, you're alerted. Oh, something's wrong. Lion, tiger coming, snake coming, whatever. Yeah.
So patterns.
It's exactly. So we stay connected to the greaterness of things, and then we notice pattern, we notice rhythm, we notice anomalies. Anything that's a little bit off. Ooh, we are very skilled at this. We are very, very, very skilled. That's how we survived. All of our ancestors. Yeah, very
Mm,
skilled. Yeah,
interesting.
yeah.
The jungle is I love your the way you're taking
Analogies,
example
analogies. Yeah, yeah,
analogies. Yeah, they're very very good.
yeah.
Or how can I change my perspective? What is the abstract of now? Symbolically, metaphor. Yeah, exactly. Here we go. The jungle.
Yes, yes. But again, this one taking it a little bit further, right? So now I'm saying, okay, I'm walking down the street. There's no real danger, but I notice something unusual, I don't know. I see a bird, chirping away in a peculiar way. What is the abstract of it? Okay, sounds like the birdie is scolding its husband, like Beena has two birdies outside. Yeah, the female bird scolds the male every now and then. So, so I'm looking at it in an abstract way. I'm hearing the birds cheeping, but it's not a happy cheeping. It's like a scolding cheeping. Oh, let me see. If I think of it in this abstract way as a symbol, what does scolding represent to me? Or a scold? See what I mean? Okay. I need to pay attention. I'm being a little bit too casual. Whatever. So when we look at the world from this perspective, to say, what does it represent to me? What does it meaning? I see a dove in my path that flies right in front of my face. What does a dove mean to me? A symbol of peace, a symbol of love, a symbol of stupidity. I don't know what, mindlessness, who knows? Whatever the dove means to you in that moment. Okay, I didn't think of that. It makes us make connections. So just a,
But
a, a, a way to
don't you
perspective shift.
don't you think that by trying to do so too much, too many times, you are actually getting into another mindset, which is not reality. Like you potentially could disconnect.
You could, but again, as in everything, we are looking, in a moment, and the point of that moment is to practice being able to shift. So
Yeah.
yes,
It's not
yeah,
to shift.
yeah.
Technically,
It's
it's just to
not to
practice
shift,
to be.
to develop the ability to be
Yeah.
able to extract things from a symbolic point of view, or when you see anything that happens in your life, when you see it from a usual interpretation. Okay, a dove flew past my face, it's just a dove. But also, it's if I am able to also see it in the symbolic way or metaphorically, I say, wow, I was thinking about. And then you start to connect it with what's going on inside you. If you had some problem that you're working out, your brain is going to filter everything around you to provide you the answer, providing you open for it. Now, it's not necessarily that the answers are coming to you. We have this fantastic capability of filtering the world around us. We have to, otherwise we won't be able to survive. We'll be overloaded with detail. But we can also regulate that filter. So if I'm thinking about something and I keep my awareness open, something happens and the brain says, "Hey, in the abstract, that's the answer to what you need," and then it clicks and it figures it. So it's a very powerful mechanism to be able to see stuff, because pretty much, anything can symbolically mean pretty much anything. There's a wide range. Look at with a dove, I mean, like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
said, they can mean all those things to you. So your brain has this great capability to extract meaning, but we just have to leave it open and practice this ability to see it not just literally, but also symbolically, figuratively, metaphorically. It's very powerful, very, very powerful, very
Interesting.
magical. Yeah,
So
and that
it's
way we can learn something from everything. It's really amazing.
learn is to get abilities. I get it.
Yes,
Now it makes sense.
yes, very powerful ability. Very, very powerful ability.
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
So that's the max, the top perspective. Like if I were God, like in other words, what I tell myself.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly.
yeah.
So again, let's say, God can't speak to you in language. Why? Because language is too much. It's too vague. When you speaking, let's assume you're coming as an alien to this planet, you might know how to speak English perfectly, or whatever language, French, right? But how do you know that this particular French phrase is understood by Jocelyn in the particular way that you have learnt it according to the dictionary? Jocelyn uses the language the way Jocelyn uses it, which is for every single individual, is personal. Yeah. But if I connect to you with symbols rather, and you now connect in this abstract way, I am now letting you interpret, not according to what you think the words
Yeah.
may mean. So it's a much more effective mechanism for you to communicate to your soul, to your heart, because it's personal. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah.
So I
Very
need to
powerful.
take, but this is once again, is just to build abilities, right?
Correct. Correct. And it's to shift your perspective, to think differently. Exactly. Exactly.
All right.
Yeah. So what
Remember,
would you tell yourself if you were the universe? What would you tell yourself?
depending, I would say depending on the situation,
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I will always try to figure it out. If I were the universe, I will always try to figure out the half of the half glass full, to try
Yeah.
to be able to see the half in anything, even though I've traveled in remote places where you're really wondering
Yeah.
if one day they can shift those people, but
Yeah. Yeah.
sadly, but yeah, the ability to shift is like the biggest ability of all, because it means
Exactly.
no one will be touched by anyone, by anything.
Exactly. 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 And shifting. We don't only want to shift perspective, we also want to shift perception, which is very different. Yeah. We also want to shift context, which again changes everything. Yeah. So, yeah. Very powerful. Very, very powerful.
No, it's true, but shifting the, as you said, the context, sometimes the context is in front of you, you can't really change it. It's
Yeah.
here, it's a fact,
Yeah.
you can't.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
But I mean,
there's a
right.
distance that is growing between what you're shifting and the reality. Let's say you're late for, or something's wrong, or I don't know, and you did something bad. Whatever the shifting, you did something bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So shift context. I'm standing on the side of the street, waiting to cross the road, and the car drives by, and there's a puddle, and it splashes the puddle onto me, right? And I get mud on my pants. In the moment, I'm like, dang it. But shift context to think of it in a life context. You say,
Yeah.
wow, I'm able to be standing here. Wow, that's pretty cool. I'm not in a sick bed. I'm alive. I'm out and about. See,
No,
just
I see
shift
what you mean.
context. It
So it's
changes
going
perspective.
pretty much going back to something more basic, but even small thing. Like I would, yeah, small thing. Remember, what do you mean by remember past moment where you shifted perspective, changed? I mean, I did, man. I don't remember all of them, but I did have some. That's for sure.
Yeah. Just remember any moment where you had a major shift and you shifted your perspective and you changed. You said, "Wow, I'm in this moment now, and I'm a little stuck, and I'm not feeling so good." But and then you said, "So, but remember when you did shift before that one time and another time? Oh yeah." And the moment you do that, you said, "Wow, you remember that you did change before," which means
Yeah.
you now can change because you have changed. You are able to change. And there you go. Just that breaks you free. See, because you're in a bubble where you're not remembering that you have the ability to change. So when you think of a past thing, you remember that you have the ability. Once you remember that, well, life is easy. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yes.
Simple,
I know
simple,
what
very
you mean.
simple, very simple, very simple. Just leveraging yourself, in other words. Just it's
Mhm.
popping a bubble. Just this is it. What this is here, it's just to remember. Oh, and the moment you remember, the bubble pops. On.
Mhm. Makes sense. Makes sense. Obviously,
Simple
it makes
stuff.
sense.
It's very simple stuff, but it's very potent.
Yeah, but it's all into simple stuff, I guess.
Exactly. It has to be. Simple as power. Yep, 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 yep.
Perfect.
Very cool. Very cool.
Or if I'm a character in a novel, what can I do that would change the plot significantly? Yeah, exactly. Same.
I love this one. This is
Yeah,
great.
me too.
This is great. Yeah,
Me too,
I
because
love this.
it's endless, but
Yeah.
even though it can bring you to reality, because sometimes I do so. I'm thinking about movie or visualize myself in a movie as a character many times.
Right, right. But again, if you just in a novel, hey, it's Jocelyn, and I'm reading, well, okay, Jocelyn is doing the same thing again. Jocelyn's again doing the same thing, and Jocelyn's again doing it. It's like, come on, Jocelyn, bloody hell, do something different here. Come on, I'm falling
Yeah,
asleep, man. Yeah, wake me up a bit. Okay, wow. Jocelyn just was thinking different stuff. Wow, Jocelyn shifted the way he felt just for no reason. Wow, what made him do this? Why on earth did he? Wow. Okay, now see, now it gets interesting.
exactly. Because you can get deeper into the why, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. But sometimes we just do things randomly for no reason at all. And then you're like, okay, when I was a kid, anytime there was trouble in the country, they blamed it on the Russian spies. That's it. Anything that happened, oh, it's the Russian spies. So,
What is
so
it? What is it? The Russian spies?
Russian spies. Yeah, yeah.
Ah, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know, maybe at that, I don't know, for you, maybe not, because this was in the time before the Berlin Wall, when the Cold War was
Yeah,
still
no,
going,
no, not
in
for
the
yeah.
70s, in other words, right? So anytime there was trouble, it was Russia. I guess sometimes it probably was them, but it was a convenient excuse. So the stories came out about, how they would spy, like in Czechoslovakia and Romania and all these places, Eastern Germany, East Germany, how they would, did I drop off? How they would spy on everybody, right? So this idea got into my head. Are you guys hearing me?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So this idea got into my head of the Russians always spying. So I got to hear about them having microphones and even cameras. At least I imagined the camera. I imagined the camera in the corner of my room that I couldn't see. And then I started to think, now, how would I behave if I was constantly being watched, right? And then I said, well, I wouldn't actually behave any differently to the way I am behaving now, because, well, then I'd be kind of a phony, right? So
Do you
this
think it's
was
okay?
this was I was about 11 or 12 at the time. So this was really for me a focus on integrity, to say I've got to really live as if I'm on camera all the time, not just on integrity, but also to not be different privately than you would be. So, in terms of your language, your thinking, everything. And it's
Yeah,
very
yeah,
powerful. It's very powerful leverage. But I also, just for the fun of it, I imagined that I had, these two, employees, and they watching me, and they're sitting there all bored and everything. And because they're bored, they start taking bets on what I would do, right? So for me, as my own little game, just to mix things up, right? How can I change the plot here? I would do random things just so they could lose money on their bets,
yeah. I get it.
so that they couldn't predict me. And I just always like doing that. So every now and then I would just, do things, and then suddenly just, what the hell? What's going on here now? And they say, no, you thought you knew me, but you don't. I like that idea. I just like that idea. Right? Don't think
I
that you
mean,
know
for
me.
me, I think that is more advanced, to be honest, because after you obviously by it's a novel, so everything which is a novel is not sort of reality. So the
Right.
other ones shifting are very much reality
Yeah.
related. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But I did stuff just differently,
Yeah, I
but
understand.
you're right. And it kept me fresh. It made things, in the boring routine of life, I would just play around with whatever, how you were doing things, even in just putting on your socks or whatever, just do it a little differently. And so, oh, okay, well, that was unexpected. See, we don't know him. We thought we knew him, but we don't. That was the that was the thrill for me, that even if they watched me, they wouldn't know. And that was cool, so that I keep myself fresh, in other words. Yeah.
Protected in a way. Yeah, yeah, I know what
Yeah,
you mean.
and protected, exactly, because if you're a hunter, the way you catch your prey is to know their routines, but also not to get bored with yourself, that you
Yeah,
don't fall into these predictable patterns, so that you change it up.
absolutely.
It's very powerful, very powerful, very powerful.
That's
But this
interesting.
is a big one here. What can I do that would change the plot significantly? And this would be like, you're reading a story and then suddenly the character decides, you know what, I've been a confirmed bachelor, but you know what, I think it's maybe I want to change that. I want to now, get married or divorce or whatever, do something that's very unexpected, that doesn't conform to the character of the main character. Their usual stuff, something that you would completely say, wow, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
It makes the book exciting, no? Or the
True,
movie.
but try to, sometimes it's just it makes excitement, but you really don't want to put that in your own life. It's just like, I'm guessing you're asking this question as if you were a character in a novel, especially when it's starting to be a heavy one, like
Yeah.
problem. Usually, I think I would ask myself that question if I had problem.
Well, but now your character could be, the story could be about this kind of, a wild character, and she's always causing trouble because she's very undisciplined, and she's always looking for fun and excitement and thrills and all this. But suddenly she decides, well, you know what, I really would like to try and be more like Beena.
Yeah,
I don't know where she got this idea of Beena from, but okay, you see, now it's like unexpected. And people do this. Suddenly they get this idea, and say, wow, why can't I be that way? And suddenly they change, This is very exciting. It happens in
absolutely.
life. We can do it. It's very cool. Very cool. And Beena, maybe in her novel, she says, well, what can I do to be wild and naughty? And I don't know, Beena goes on a rampage or something. Who knows? Goes out clubbing late at night or something. Who knows?
Who knows? Who
Beena
knows?
does. Beena does surprising stuff every now and then. It's quite amazing. And again, you will come to the next one. How can I surprise myself?
You're really thinking, Sim, that Bina is asking herself to be maybe wild and naughty.
Oh yeah, sometimes. Oh yeah. That's the thing.
All right,
Every
Bina,
now and
I
then,
didn't
Beena
know
like
that.
really surprises me, and I go, "What? Really, Beena? Really? Are you joking or are you serious?" Every now and then, it's like, "Seriously, Beena? Really?" I love that. Yeah. How can I surprise myself? What would I ordinarily not do? Beena's gonna dye her hair. Oh, see?
Okay, it's a
Mhm.
simple one. It's a very simple one.
Doesn't matter. Still.
Of course, we have to do that because this, for me, capital A amusement is really vital for my life to be meaningful. Not only just to have joyful or cheerful, but to be meaningful. If I lose my ability to be amused and actually amused others also, capital A amused, I
Uh-huh.
don't think my life will be meaningful. Because if we lose our ability to get amused by the wonderfulness, the profoundness, the moreness of this world and universe around us, what's the point to live?
Exactly. And learning to be every now and then to surprise ourselves, developing this ability. Oh, it's a fantastic
Or
ability.
at least don't lose it.
Exactly.
At least don't lose it.
We need to keep it fresh. We need to keep it
Yeah,
fresh.
absolutely.
Very cool. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yes. Very
What can I
very
align to? What is anomalous? Yeah,
anomalous.
anomalous. Yeah,
Anomalous.
yeah. That's an interesting one because
It is.
without comparing, without comparing yourself, because that's the good thing. You need to align what you can align to without trying to not basically saying to who I can compare myself with. Big difference.
Exactly. And it's what can I align to? I can align to the economy. I can align to fashion. I can
Yeah,
align
yeah, yeah.
to social values. I can align to other people's opinions, or I can align to the universe. I can align to my integrity. I can align to my sole purpose. What is anomalous? Oh, what really stood out in my life? What was a little different? Anomalies are incredible. Why? Because an anomaly is something that your brain filter has said this does not fit in the usual pattern. And when you start to look at it symbolically or abstract, it's usually connected to something going on inside you. But you need to we'll get into this later at the end. There's a whole session
Yeah,
on this.
because yeah,
But
yeah.
there's a lot to this. It's a very powerful thing. Very, very powerful thing. Very powerful. Very cool. Very, very cool. Very cool. And beside, look like when you watch Star Trek or any space movie, right? What do they say? Captain, we have long range sensors report an anomaly off the starboard bow. And then they stop and investigate the anomaly. That's what makes the whole episode, right? Because they were checking out the anomaly.
So you see, it makes 1 hour 90-minute episode for just checking anomaly.
Exactly. But that's always starts with anomaly, and they have to check it out. How can you not check it out? It's an anomaly. It doesn't fit. So anomalies are very magical. It's like doorways to magic. Yeah. Oh, this is very cool. This is very cool.
If I were to anticipate the next moment and from that extrapolate, what do I need to do? Yeah, I mean, that is pretty much like the solution to think twice before you do an action, in other words.
Yeah. But this is also going to say, okay, I'm seeing a group of guys walk towards me. I'm on the pavement, and I anticipate the next few moments, and I extrapolate and see where this is going. Okay, what happens next? Okay, they come closer. I come closer. What happens after that? Well, we're going to bump into each other. What happens then? Do I give way? If I do I look weak? All right. So in that moment, instead of continuing, I now have the space to cross the street and do so without looking like I'm connected to them, just casual. See, so I don't get into their radar and cause a problem if they appear to be hooligans or whatever. You see my point? I'm extrapolating to say what could happen, and then I have a greater range of choices than if I'm right in face to face with them. And now you've got this thing, okay, you dissing me, or you don't respect me, or you give way, and then you look weak, and then you get picked on. It's a no-win situation. But with some anticipation and extrapolation, you can see trouble coming and get out of the way. I mean, that's in a very real physical sense of trouble. But same thing, you can do so in any situation. Okay, I'm anticipating. I'm just I've come home and I'm sitting at the table eating my food, and girlfriend or wife or whoever comes and okay, I anticipate what's coming. Same old stuff. Let's shake it up a little bit. Let's make it exciting. And I don't do what I usually do because, well, I don't want to get into the same boring habit to routine. Yes, honey, how was your day? Okay, yes, my day was fine. I didn't do anything exciting, whatever. No, let's shake it up a bit. So we leverage this, when we see things coming to break habits and patterns. Positive or negative, don't matter. Very powerful. Very powerful.
But I mean, I got it, but still, I feel like for me, it's still complicated to understand that one. To be honest.
Okay.
A little bit.
So you just if you literally in a martial arts competition fighting somebody right away, you need to anticipate where their moves are going to go. No. Or if you can do that, you have a profound skill. If you see them bobbing and weaving, for instance, and you pick up their pattern, and you can anticipate where they're going to bob. Instead of punching at their face, you punch where their face is going to be, and they bob right into your fist. Okay, fantastic. See. So
but I mean, you can't. It's also something you have. You can't really work on that. You just have it. You're born with it.
No, you can work on anticipation and extrapolation. Oh, absolutely. Just practice it in watching just conversation. Anticipate where the conversation is going, and then extrapolate a little bit further from that. Extrapolation is like when they have the sales graph and they show the curve, and then there's that dot at the end of it where they're extrapolating. That's what extrapolation is, right? So anticipation is very closely related to extrapolation. Extrapolation just goes a little further. So just practice it with conversation and see if you can. It's a skill that we have to develop. But you can definitely practice it, and you can see where things are going. Okay, likely here, likely there, and you get into probability. But now you sort of see ahead of time where things are going. It's very, very powerful. Even if it's just probabilities, doesn't matter. It's very useful.
So it means that for me, it is when we can anticipate the next few moments or next few sentences or words, conversation or actions in any situation.
Right.
We can extrapolate the bigger picture that in the longer run, how these next few moments going to decide the bigger picture, the overall situation. Yeah, this is what it means by anticipating and extrapolate.
Yeah, exactly. So think of it this way: we were talking earlier about the moods, right? And catching them at the very beginning, the 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, yeah, 64, going like that, right? So we want to catch those in the. If I'm watching an interaction and I'm watching somebody else's mood, yeah, and I see the 1, I see the 2, yeah, it's very, very, very slight. Now, sometimes it may stop there and go back. But if I anticipate and I'm watching and I see, oh, it's starting to go to 4 and 8, it's still not even in their consciousness, but I'm noticing it because I'm paying attention. If I extrapolate and that pattern, very soon it's going to get to some serious emotion. So now I can catch it before it gets to that point where it kicks up and gets into an argument or stress, or they get upset with me or with themselves or whatever. See, so I can catch things before they become something that needs to be dealt with. You're just one step ahead of the game. Yeah.
And what about in the positive situations?
Okay, the positive situation. I'm gonna go out. I'm walking to my car. Yeah. What happens? If I'm anticipating, well, I know I need to take my keys out, so I take them out before while I'm walking instead of getting to the door, then reaching into my pocket to my bag, and I'm wasting those extra few seconds. Okay, it may only be a few seconds, but it's still, it's time that I'm saving. And when you start to do this, you free up your energy. You're being more aware. You're looking ahead of time so that you're not in the moment. Because the moment I'm there, stuck by the door, all my attention's here. While I'm walking, I can still have my attention all around me, and I can do this with a freedom. So it's very simple, but it's a really great energy management to be able to anticipate and extrapolate. Really,
So
really great.
yeah, so this is okay. I'm asking for my own clarity here. So this is what we do in slides or
Yeah.
in any learning when we try to be aware of something and we start just working on our own self. We see that how the patterns are going. If I'm doing some course, if I'm doing some program, if I'm reading a book. Okay, I see that okay, this is a book. So everybody is recommending. Okay, this is the title. This is the author, and okay, this is what it's all about. So I anticipate that this book or this program or this course is going to be about this thing, and my mind subconsciously I start making connections in my mind. I become more receptive to what is going on, what will happen, and where I have to pay attention.
Mm.
Okay, it's very subtle, it's very passive kind of activity, but it works like this for me, that whenever I'm going to read something, when I get familiar, I anticipate and then I extrapolate. Okay, this is how things will be, this much time I have to actually assign for this and reserve for this, and this is how I'm going to all these things, taking notes and all these things. So anticipating and extrapolation, it happens throughout our life in every activity. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just exactly, you can do it to everything, but it saves you extra time and it makes you a little bit ahead of the curve to be just that one step ahead. When something comes right up against me and I have to, then I have no time. All I can do is react. But if I can anticipate and see it coming, I get to respond because I get to choose my options. So it's simply a matter of this time and energy management, which is now we are doing its decision management, really. Just being able to anticipate gives me a greater range of choices so I can respond rather than react.
Oh, so the nature also works in that way, especially human body. When we are hungry and we have to eat, the smell of the food, the aroma, actually start creating juices in our mouth and
Exactly.
to be prepared for that. Oh yes, okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
But it's just it's instead of having the time compressed and you've got no time to think and you have
Yeah.
to just react immediately, you want a little bit of time to think and plan, right? Right. So
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you can anticipate that you're going to be hungry in the future, then you can start preparing a meal that you actually would love to eat, rather than when I'm really hungry and I've just become aware now and wow, I didn't realize it and I'm suddenly very hungry. The first and nearest thing that's available, I eat, whether it's the thing that's appropriate for me or not doesn't matter. I'm I'm,
Yeah.
I'm just going with the first choice. Yeah.
So I was just saying that the human body actually anticipate and extrapolate because even before eating the food, our bodies
Exactly. It
self.
prepares us, right? But we need to be aware of this mechanism and do so deliberately because we
Yes.
tend to get caught up in bubbles. So this is a mechanism too of staying outside the bubble, staying zoomed out. Does that help, Jocelyn?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Oh, cool, cool, cool.
It makes. I would say it makes real sense.
Yeah, yeah. It's very exciting stuff. It's fun too. It's very really fun. You know, and it's useful too, like when you are reading a book, for instance, Beena, like we were doing. If I
Yes.
can anticipate and extrapolate, okay, like I see where in like each chapter, and I can
Yes.
do this 3 or 4 times, and I say, well, every time I'm able to anticipate and extrapolate, and boring. Okay, well, I don't need to read the whole book to to yeah,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. This is what is happening. Yes.
yeah. All right, next one, Jocelyn. Ah,
All right. This question that all perspective with implication at spirit warriors as your personal equivalent. It's imperative we learn to get into the new habit of thinking differently, of asking question, of insisting we can, and of holding ourselves accountable for our own state of being. The
yeah.
key issue here is in this session is breaking that certainty that there's little or nothing we can do.
Mm.
That's never the case. Learning to shift and see the options is vitally necessary, deeply transformative, and part of a spirit warrior's arsenal of potency. Yeah, exactly. That for that
Vitally, vitally necessary.
I relate without because this is what I truly feel.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
it's very much the what you said the as a warrior if you're not able to do that you're losing the war obviously.
exactly, 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 exactly. It's breaking that certainty that there's little or nothing we can do.
Yeah,
Why is it a certainty? Why? Only because of habit, only because of misbelief, not actual reality, misbelief. Yeah, it's always something we can do. We can always shift our perspective.
yeah, no, it's very true.
Yeah,
It's very
yeah,
true, and if you don't do that then
yeah,
you're missing or losing
yeah.
something, but I would say
Yeah.
you're missing something rather.
Exactly. Whenever you if you read survivor stories from people who've been captured or imprisoned or whatever, and they survived and they came out of it not broken and messed up, they came out of it stronger. This is the key issue. Every single time, all of them, they were able to perspective shift. That's how they survived. That's how they thrived even and came out stronger, not weaker, stronger. Even though they were, in prisons, tortured, whatever. It's amazing. Perspective shifting is an incredible, incredible superpower. Superpower. Yeah, yeah. Very important. Very important. But again, to break the habit too. If we don't break that habit, then we don't get into the new habit because we just believe, well, nothing I can do, and we complain. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah, we like complaining sometimes. We like it. Yeah, we're
But
knuckleheads that way.
you say learning to shift and see the options is vitally necessary. uh
Vitally, yeah, vitally.
Vitally, when you say vitally it means like if you don't as a long-term potential I would say collateral problem is you won't be able to shift anymore, or when you say vitally because it's such an
It, it's
important
it's just it's just double emphasis. Vitally and necessary.
and
They both
necessary.
mean the same thing, really. So
Yeah,
it's just double emphasis. Yeah,
all right, perfect, got it.
yeah, yeah.
We can ask, do I need to believe it's different before I act? Can I act without believing? uh, do I need to believe
Oh,
it's different before I act? Yeah, that's deep one.
that is a deep one. That is a deep one. For many people, they cannot act because it has to be different before they can act. And so, in other words, they can't take a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Can I act without believing? It's another really big one. Yeah. I don't believe that I'm going to, whatever the thing is I'm going to do is going to have any success or whatever that, okay, I'm shifting my mood. I don't believe that this technique, this mechanism that I'm doing is going to yield any result. But can I do it anyway just to test it? Some people cannot. They can't even just test it. They have to really believe it's a fact. But that way, how do you ever get to know anything new? You just at the fate of experience, which is very limited, and then the experience loops around on itself, so they get stuck and they don't do anyway. So you're never able to test something if you can't act without believing. Yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's
It's very
that one is
powerful.
a deep one, I would say.
Yeah, it's a very deep one. Yep. 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 Yeah. Yeah.
What do I need to change in myself to make the moment what I want it to be? Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's the same is the same perspective shift that you
Yeah.
said. Like,
Yes, but it's taking responsibility.
yeah,
What do I need to
yeah,
change in myself to make the moment what I want it to be? Now, it's not just self trust, but also is self confidence. And also, you are saying, my want, what I want is important, not what somebody else thinks it should be. Yeah,
so you're putting yourself as the sort of you're the origin of the change, obviously.
exactly. I am responsible for me, no one else. Me. I'm responsible for me, nobody else.
Yeah, that's a
Big
good
deal.
one.
Will you go back one, please?
Yeah,
Well, now
yeah.
two. There was something I wanted to say about that previous one. Uh, yeah. Um, do I need to believe it's different before I act? No, 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 no. It was that one. It was the belief one. Uh, act without believing. Hmm. Courage. What is courage but acting without the believing? Yeah, my body, my belief tells me I'm going to die, I'm going to get injured, right? So those who absolutely cannot act without that, in defiance of their beliefs, they can never be courageous, really. Yes.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So this is a big deal. This is a big deal. In other words, do I need to believe it's different before I act? Okay, well, do I need for all the stuff to, be safe and secure and then only act? Well, then it's too late. Then it doesn't make any difference anymore, right? So this is a big deal when it comes to courage, the ability to act without believing. Yeah, all right, you believe in something different, but in the your the beliefs that are causing you the fear, can I go against my beliefs? In other words, can I institute a different belief? Can I put in some other reality? So yeah, this is a big deal. This is a very, very big deal. This very big deal. When we really realize the connecting link between feelings and beliefs and see how they support each other, we have that whole program on it, feeling and believing and that relationship. When we start to see that the two support each other, but there's a other parts to us that are separate to feeling and believing, then I can act on my
Feeling,
logic, I can act on my rationality, I can act on my sensibility, I can act on my
yeah,
anticipation,
yeah.
my extrapolation, I can act on my universal connection instead of my local, legacy feelings and behaviors and habits. Yeah, big deal.
So feeling as a body feeling.
Yeah, but sometimes we feel something because we believe something, and we believe something because we feel it. And neither of those are necessarily accurate. They just
Yeah,
support each other. Yeah,
true,
yeah, yeah.
true.
Very powerful. Very, very powerful. Okay.
Am I assuming full responsibility for all the decision I made, which brought me to this exact moment? Yeah, obviously,
Mm.
obviously not.
Exactly. So I always there's some
Otherwise,
other
otherwise you will not, you won't be at that exact moment.
exactly. But here's the thing. So in this moment, right now, Zasla, do you know in the future weird things might happen, strange things, unusual things, unfair things, random things, crazy things? Do
Hmm.
you know as a fact that they could happen? Not will, but could happen. Yes?
As a fact, of course, they
Yeah,
could
you
happen.
know it because this is life. You know
Yeah,
stuff could
exactly.
happen, right? You don't know that they will happen, but they could happen. All right. So, knowing that weird stuff could happen in the future, nonsense and silly stuff, right? Stuff you don't want. Knowing this right now, you are acutely aware, fully aware that stuff could happen. Knowing that stuff could happen, do you, Jocelyn, right now in this moment, choose to remain alive, knowing that stuff can happen in the future?
Yeah,
You choose to remain alive, yes, right now, knowing that that shit could happen in the future. Yeah,
but yeah, because
yeah.
this is obvious, I guess. Maybe
Yes,
I'm.
yes, yes. It's obvious this stuff could happen, but you are now in this moment thinking about it. You are choosing to remain alive. So, if that stuff does happen in the future, remember this moment because then you can't complain.
Yeah,
'Cause
true.
you chose to remain alive knowing it could happen. So, sorry, but no more complaints from you, Mr. Jocelyn.
Mm.
That option is now gone because
Yeah.
you chose knowing that it could happen. This is to me absolutely assuming full responsibility for the decisions I made, which brought me to this exact moment. I knew I could get to this moment. I knew my decisions might not turn out the way I wanted to. I knew this, but I kept living anyway. I made those decisions anyway, so I can't complain. I accept full responsibility. I'm here because of the decisions I made. I'm responsible, nobody else. Yeah. You can check out anytime.
Yeah, but that's yeah. So, but the question is, this is very much like looking in the past, obviously, instead of looking in the future.
Yeah, yeah. But still, now you've made this decision consciously, which
Yeah.
is why I ask it so seriously.
Hmm.
Because when you do get to the future, you're going to look back to this moment. In the past, well, I didn't know. I was ignorant. I was unaware. I was in a bubble. I had no idea this would happen. I had no idea COVID or whatever. Yeah, well, you knew weird stuff could happen back then too. You just didn't think of it consciously.
Mm.
So you still knew. You still knew. You just weren't aware enough to be. But now that you do, that's it. Oh, I love this question.
Des,
Love.
what is your advice right now?
Yep, 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 yep.
I mean,
So
I would say, take your time, mate. Take your time.
there you go. There you go. There you go. Yeah. So we go and you ask Death Store.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell you want? That's very rude. Death. I'm having an argument with my girlfriend. What the hell does Death say to you? Death is very rude. He'll tell you to just get lost right there. The
Hmm.
hell are you bothering me with this crap for? You got more things to worry about than you and your silly argument with your girlfriend. Think about me. That's it. I may come tap your shoulder any moment, and then what? You and your silly argument. Better things to worry about. So get lost. Think about
That's
me.
funny. It's funny because that the sort of shift I usually do when I'm training or doing training in the past, when especially with martial arts. People were like, "Oh, they're complaining. It's too hard. It's too hard." I say, "What you want to shift your life now by going to some places in the world, and you will see what means really to fuck up. And you're paying for a lesson in a free country. I mean,
Aye.
it's a very
Yeah.
interesting one with the desk
Very
because
powerful, very powerful. All right,
yeah.
so now we've kind of gotten a clue. All right, so that was very rude to us, and we was like, yeah, seriously, what was I thinking? Yeah, I'm fussing about my petty things, and it's like I got better stuff to do in my life. All right, so now I said, okay, so now we go back to death. Yeah, what do you want? I took your advice. I'm doing Way of Impeccability. Is this a good use of my time? Do you think?
Yeah, yeah.
What is Way of
Yeah,
Impeccability?
yeah.
I'm preparing myself to do things which give me value right now. I'm learning to have integrity. I'm learning to connect to my character. I'm learning to use my energy. I'm using to mood shift, to perspective shift.
Mm.
Ah, is this stuff? Yes, that says. Finally, somebody who gets it instead of some idiot wasting my time with lunatic questions. Yes, of course, this is useful stuff because it's going to help you right now in your life. It will help you for the rest of your life. And when I come to touch you, wherever you're going to end up next, it's going to help you there too. This is the best use of your time you can possibly make. Well done. You're one in a trillion.
Yeah. No, no, it's really, really, really good.
It's seriously though, that question is one of the reasons for Way of Impeccability, so that we are prepared for our death, but we are not spending our whole life on something that may or may not be either. Like the people who are just maybe praying, oh, and I want to go, but they don't live now. They're just waiting for that eventuality, and then it turns out there's nothing, and they've wasted their lives, right? So or they say, well, I'm going to go to heaven, and they don't go to heaven. They just end up looping in the same reality, and they're not prepared for that either. So this is very important. Again, same question here. Same question.
What am I doing about my ultimate freedom right now? Yeah, same thing.
Yeah. Am I being dependent on others for my happiness? Do I need approval to keep me going? Is that freedom? No, I'm dependent on them. How is that freedom? How is it freedom if I'm dependent on others for my happiness?
I feel like you tell me that one for me. Well done.
Maybe. It's very
No,
powerful.
but it's so true. It's so true. If you started to dependent on other, then it's completely useless. You're the opposite of free.
Exactly. And look at this picture too. You know, many times the art that goes with this is very deep, very symbolic. So many people live under the same illusion as this great wall, right? Or we're going to keep the enemy out, and they build these long, extensive walls. And did this actually work? The Great Wall of China?
Historically speaking,
Yeah,
no, it did not.
exactly.
It did not. Historically speaking.
Exactly. But people do the same thing. They build these great walls to, to protect themselves, and they're
Yeah.
scared and all this stuff. So it doesn't help your ultimate freedom to be.
Absolutely no. And
Yeah.
then they're telling that it's the only monument you can see from the
From
from the
space.
moon,
Yeah.
which is the most fake things ever. But people love to have this story.
Yeah. You can see it from space. I don't think you can see it from the moon, but you can see it from space. But there are other things you can see from space too.
There's other thing you can see from space, obviously.
Right.
But yeah, I
Right.
know what you
Depends how
mean.
far you go into space, of course. But
Exactly. It's all dependent where you're going into space.
right,
Absolutely.
right. So it's
So
perspective, awareness, understanding. It just, when people get caught up in these great walls, they live their whole lives building these walls only to find out that, well, it was kind of pointless, So, yeah, very powerful, very powerful.
like that one. Like that
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
How can I be more dog-like right now? I don't know. Ask my girlfriend. I'm joking.
There you go. But look at a dog. You come
So,
home, the dog was lying there, and it's like, the moment it sees you,
Beena, that was a joke. Just before you were
yeah,
gonna.
yeah, 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 yeah. The moment
That was a
that dog
complete
sees
joke.
you, right, it's shifting from being bored to ecstasy, just like that, in a moment, right away. It's enjoy, yeah. Or it's just lying there. Suddenly it's alert. It's attentive. I don't know. Dogs are quite fantastic. How they are, and they're very, very loving, very loyal, and of
Yeah,
course they're very protective. Something comes, it's a threat. They're just fantastic. They're very intense in how they live. No,
yeah. They
lots to
are.
learn from being dogs.
It's 100% or nothing.
Exactly. But again, too, you can also see the limitations of that. There's limitations to the awareness. So we can really learn, but we can extract the positive parts out of this.
Yeah.
Very, very helpful. Very helpful to remember that.
If this is a major turning point in my life, which way do I want to turn, or which path do I wish to travel? Yeah. I would say exactly what you just said, which is realized and finding the happiness through myself, not with the other. I guess that would be my major thing.
Yes. So when you get to be, to be a slightly less younger man like me, right? I mean, I'm still a young man, but just slightly less younger than I was before. And then you can say, you look back and you say, you know what, grasshopper? When I was a grasshopper, there came a point where I chose to be responsible for me. I chose deliberately my freedom. I chose to unhook from convention. I chose to unhook from pattern. I chose to unhook from the thoughts and ideas of others. I chose me. I chose real power. I chose real strength. I chose me. That was the moment that my life changed.
That was the moment you.
That was the moment my life changed.
Yeah.
When I chose me. Huh? What do you mean you chose you? Figure it out, grasshopper. Figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
It's so big, so exciting, just to make it a little bit dramatic, have some fun, right? But it's true, you want to look at the path and say, what was the path we're on? Where was this path headed? Was I building a great wall, or did I say, no, I'm going to be free? I'm going to, instead of conquering my enemy, I'm going to make them my friend. It's the only way to truly deal with an enemy. And so I've got a whole different thing. I stopped being dependent on them. We developed a whole different deal. So I became my enemy, became them, saw things from their point of view. Everything shifted, and they got to be really free.
Wow.
Lots of ways to
This
change.
picture reminds me of my poem, Why I Would Rather Jump. Huh?
Yeah.
Do we weather what?
I would
Read your. Can you? Do
jump.
you have it? Do you have it handy, Beena? Can you read it to us?
Okay, no, let me check on Facebook. I have on Facebook, of course. So I
Yeah, if you can find it quickly. Where are your files? You can't search in your files to say, just search. I would rather jump. No.
it is easy. Just give me a minute.
Ah, all right. We'll come back to the slide. We keep going, just now. We'll come back to it.
Which routine and habit can I break right now? Yes. In order for me to completely change. Yeah, exactly. Like procrastination and all this stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. So simple. So simple. But anyway, when you ask that question sometimes, oh, what do you mean? What routine and habit? Well, what are you
Mhm.
doing right now? Yeah, okay, I get it. Yeah. It's so amazing. It's so amazing. Simple stuff. Simple stuff.
No,
Very
no,
cool.
makes sense. Makes
Very
sense.
cool.
Makes sense.
Very cool. Yeah.
I'm not choosing joy and delight. Why I'm not choosing wonder, awe, and appreciation. Yes. Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Wonder, awe, and
Which
appreciation.
is super simple if you think about it. Like it's look.
Exactly. And just ask somebody, just anytime. Anastasia. Say, Anastasia. Let's say she's just kind of okay. Why are you not choosing joy and delight? Why are you not choosing wonder, awe, and appreciation? And likewise, why am I not choosing it? Is there any good reason why I'm not choosing it? Nope, no good reason whatsoever. Just habit and routine. The previous slide, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So can I share a screen?
Yes, please. Okay, go slide. But before you go, two slides back, please, Jocelyn.
Two slide back. Yeah.
Yeah. For the picture. This one. Yes. Okay. So Beena gonna share, but keep the picture in mind now.
Yes.
You want me to read it, Beena?
I was thinking to play the video because you have this voice in
Oh.
that.
Okay. That's right. Okay. Well, go to the start. Pull it to the. There we go. Is it
Looking
loud
to
enough?
with 1 foot in the air. I'm standing in the middle of nowhere. My heart is sinking with the bird, clenching me the chains of uncertainty. Shall I jump or kiss my ground? Leave the turf and fly around. My foot on ground is sprouting down. All my nerves are getting numb. Nothing can make time freeze. Why we think that this speaks? I would rather jump. I would rather jump. He said,
Okay, so this was the poem, Josna, and the slide and the picture reminds me of this.
Could
It's
you
beautiful. It's beautiful.
could you hear it? It was breaking up a bit for me.
Yeah, it was difficult, but I can read it now. Now it makes more sense.
Yeah.
It was very hard for me to hear it.
Yeah. That's why I was saying it'd probably be better if I just read it, and then
Yes, please read it, sir.
ah, looking toward the sky with 1 foot in the air. I'm standing in the middle of nowhere. My heart is sinking with the burden, clenching me the chains of uncertain. Shall I jump or kiss my ground? Leave the turf and fly around. My foot on ground is sprouting down. All my nerves are getting numb. Nothing can make time freeze. Why we think this brings ease. I would rather jump. I would rather jump. Be stood. There we go.
It's beautiful. Beautiful.
Some deep poetry from Beena. Anyway, keep going. Just now, screen share again. Keep going. Yeah. Just that picture was cool.
Oh,
Don't
it
get
was
stuck. Don't get stuck in death. In other words, don't get stuck in mindlessness. Don't get
Yeah.
stuck
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
habit and routine. I would rather jump.
exactly.
Yeah. Very cool. Very, very cool. Nice connection, Beena. Nice connection. Yeah, yeah.
But that will come. The one I'm not choosing joy and delight. I'm obviously
Yeah.
that will come naturally, I guess, by doing all this work.
Yeah, and also just to make the choice to say, hey, well, I'm going to feel better. I'm going to feel joyful. And then as you go, you start to see wonder. Do we live in a magical world, Jocelyn?
Mm.
Just, that's it.
No, I'm saying because I think I need to do some work as a shift perspective shift before it coming something naturally.
So let me ask you again. Do we live in a magical world? In a world where there's all sorts of incredible, fantastic things going on?
I mean, definitely.
There you go.
If you choose the world you want to live in.
Exactly. Exactly. So if you're not choosing it, the question is why?
I'm sure for stupid reason. For stupid reason.
Exactly. Exactly. No reason at all except habit. No reason at all except
Yeah, stupid reason, I guess.
exactly mindlessness. Yep, yep, yep. I
Is
love
this
this
effort?
question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or is this effort worth the reward? Yeah, obviously.
Any moment you are asking yourself, you in an argument to somebody, is this effort worth the reward? What am I going to get out of this argument for all this effort? What's the end result here? What am I going to get out
Yeah.
of it?
So it's like having a lesson on each anything you said or happening to you. It's grabbing the lesson.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
exactly. Every single thing can be this magical gift of a lesson. What is the first question I think was, what is the gift right now? Every single thing can be. Everything. We can learn from anything. It's very powerful.
Mm, definitely. That makes sense. Or this is a good opportunity to practice passion, tolerance, discipline, forbearance, which leads to timing. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's all.
Patience, tolerance, discipline, forbearance. Very, very powerful, which lead to timing. This is a very cool thing, there's a bit more to it, and something is potent. So when we have patience, yes, we have the ability to wait without stress. Yeah. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to be doing anything. We could just be waiting there, and that's it. You can wait forever. And if I have tolerance, likewise, I'm now saying I can deal with it. I can handle it. But discipline, when added to the ability to wait and the ability to be tolerant,
Mm,
it
mm,
it,
mm, mm.
it keeps me doing the things that I need to be doing to continue my whatever it is that I'm looking to be doing, right? So let's say I'm just staying aware, staying alert. This requires discipline. Forbearance means, okay, I need to stay alert to look for my opportunity that's coming in life, but I've got all these pressures on me, and it's I'm struggling to pay my rent and to eat and whatever. But I handle it. I hang in there because I'm hanging in there and staying alert. I create the timing. Yeah. A good example of this is like a hunter that goes out into the jungle to go and hunt something, right? And they see something, and they see a deer, and they start chasing the deer. What does the deer do? It starts running away. It makes it very difficult to catch. But if this is a sensible hunter, a little bit more strategy, they say, well, you know what? This is the jungle. I can pretty much sit down anywhere in the jungle, and sooner or later, things are going to come past me. Yeah. So now the hunter sits there, and it sees a sparrow come by. Okay, I can get the sparrow, but got a whole family to feed. That's not going to be enough. Same thing with the rabbit. But then it's being tolerant. It's waiting. It's disciplined. The hunter's
Mhm,
staying
mhm.
away. It's sitting there. It's sweating. It's hot. Or it's cold. Whatever. Right. Sooner or later, the deer comes by, or the buffalo, or whatever the hell it needs for to feed its family or to feed the village. Yeah. Okay, this will work. Thank you very much, but only if they stayed tight, if they stayed disciplined, if they didn't fall asleep, for instance, or start fidgeting and whatever. So this is very powerful. We create
Mm.
the timing through our behavior. It's very potent because otherwise we might not think that we have any control over timing, but we do.
It's true.
We do. We do. We do. Very cool.
Otherwise, you're feeling like you don't have control, and weeks becoming days, becoming weeks and months, and
Exactly, but we do because the moment that, let's say, I'm sitting there as this hunter, right, waiting for something to come, If I lose my discipline and I say, oh, bloody hell, I'm all stiff and awkward, and I get up and I stretch and, the deer that was just out of sight for me, but there's excellent hearing, they all hear me and run away. Now I start all over again. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Makes sense.
Yeah. So it's a big
It
deal.
makes sense.
Stay tight. Yeah. Very cool.
Each question is most revealing, yielding insight into a way of being, way of living, to a way of feeling and thinking. Yes, absolutely. The task is connecting to those underlying mindsets to extract them all, which bind them all. Yeah, that's the lesson.
Yes. Exactly.
So I'll try to do that, because I will go back into this lesson again by myself.
Yes.
Because I have to go soon, but I would love to go back into that.
Yes.
We can shift to how I can make myself more available, accessible of this magic. Yes, exactly.
Exactement.
That's exactly what it is. It's like it's here, but sometimes you still have things that brings you back to reality, but it doesn't mean it's dissociated.
Exactly. We are magic surfers of life, right?
Yeah.
How can I make myself more available, accessible to me? Oh, I got to paddle a little bit. I see a peak over there. Oh, there we go. Same thing with a hunter. How can I make myself available, more accessible? Well, hang out near the water pond. There's no animals here now, but sooner or later they're all gonna come here.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
simple. Very simple stuff.
Perfect. I'm gonna have to go soon, Seal, because
sure.
I have to eat and I have
sure.
another thing.
Sure.
But
How far are we from the end? I think we only a
let me
few
see.
slides. Yeah.
When they were a massive game, how could they?
Oh, there's
how
quite
would
a few
they-
then still. All right, never mind. We'll carry on here next time. Yeah.
Yeah, that is the very important one for me.
Yes, exactly.
To learn how to pause and step back.
Power pause, exactly. And ask yourself, and during the day, what am I doing? Am I being impeccable? Am I being appropriate?
Yeah.
Just that. Just stop every now and then and say, what am I doing? And then you say, oh, am I being impeccable? Am I being appropriate? Am I being strategic? This is it. Very powerful.
You see, it's a good time to pause. So I'll try to make also some pause during the day, poses just to see and ask myself this question.
Excellent.
All right, I gotta go, guys.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Oh, pleasure, Jocelyn. Pleasure.
Thank you so much once again.
Pleasure.
And I talk to you on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Brilliant. Okay,
All right.
so just check your calendar to get the timing right. Yeah.
I mean, my time didn't change. Let me see it, because usually it's 1. So let's see. So for you, so 1 o'clock. So for you, what time do you have you? Not now, but what time do you have on Wednesday organized?
So on Wednesday I have you at 4 o'clock my time.
4 o'clock, no.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is 4 a.m. my time. So add on 8 hours.
So yeah, so it's 12 on mine.
12 o'clock for you.
So I had to change that.
Yes. Yeah, because your time did change. Mine didn't, but yours did. Yes.
My time did not change.
Correct. Not yet, but it will change on the 29th.
Yeah. Okay, so 12.
Yeah. But still, okay, this is before the 29th. Yeah. So we'll have to just pay attention when it comes after the 29th.
Yeah. I put the meeting at 12 or the 17 just for that time.
Yeah. Perfect. Fantastic. Okay. We gotta go.
All right. See you. Take care.
All right. Bye-bye, Jocelyn.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Very good indeed.